no migrants sent back to France as was originally promised.
Well, we're joined now in the studio by GB News' Home and Security Editor, Mark White. And what do we understand actually happened yesterday, Mark?
Well, they were planning to send a grand total of one small boat migrant back to France yesterday, but there was what they were expecting, what we all could have predicted would be the case, a last-minute interjection, an appeal to the courts to try to stop that flight taking place, or at least stop that migrant being put on this scheduled Air France flight over to Charles de Gaulle Airport. And it worked because, of course, if you submit a legal challenge, even if there's not a real basis for a challenge at the end of the day, it still has to be considered, and that can't be done in the space of an hour or two. It could take a day or more for those cases to actually be then considered by a judge and the particular merits of the case evaluated. So this is likely, I think, to happen throughout the course of this week, with each of these migrants who've been earmarked to go to France being challenged or challenges submitted on their behalf. And look, it's not just the sort of legal challenges. There is now a well-orchestrated campaign by NGOs, by charity groups as well, to bombard Air France and associated sort of allies with Air France, to tell them to change their mind, to tell them not to take these migrants across to France, even urging pilots that might be in charge of the flight to refuse to fly because of the potential for disruption.
So what happens next, Mark? I mean, is that the idea? Is it dead in the water now?
It's not dead in the water, no. It's just they're running into the problems. A microcosm, to be honest, of what we saw with Rwanda. Those were legal challenges that just continued on, not for weeks or months, but actually for years before the government was finally over the hurdle of challenges. I don't think it will be the same in terms of the breadth of the legal challenges this time, because what are you talking about? You're not talking about sending them off to Africa. You're talking about sending them back to a safe country, the safe country that they were in just prior to crossing the channel illegally to the UK. So in theory, it should be easier for the government to get over the hurdles. But what I say is, you know, if someone mounts a legal challenge, it's going to take some time in the court. Not necessarily a very long time, but certainly a challenge running into days. So it could actually scupper it this week. We might get some migrants off during the course of the week. But listen, they were only talking about maybe sending less than 50 across the channel this week. And we might be lucky if we see more than a dozen go across the channel this week.